Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully this is working. Hopefully the sound is good. Luke is currently in a taxi, cab, whatever. He's going out for the night, and we're still kind of going to do the interview. Hopefully somehow. I don't know what's going to happen. He says he's going to answer the comments. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, so Luke is doing his best. He's just finished work and he's off out for the night, but he still wants to do it. Yeah. So I'm not sure what's happening. Um, so if he's in the chat, if I see him in the chat, I'll ask him the questions. Maybe I'll answer him in the chat. Maybe he'll drop in. Doesn't have the best connection at the moment. So how's everyone's week been? What's everyone up to? What's everyone drinking? Actually, what I'm drinking. Give us a second. The glass is not going to tell you. Picked this up during the week. Haven't had it before. Amber ale. But don't get me to pronounce things. You know that. Yeah. So hi Steve. How you doing? Hopefully Luke will join the chat or will come into the studio. As I said, if people who haven't joined, he's on the way. He's going from work. He's going out, and he still wants to do the interview. I was talking to him for a few minutes, but his connection kind of broke down. So I'm not sure how long this is going to last or how this is going to work. It's a bit off the cuff. I don't usually go live before a person joins, but it hasn't really worked out at the moment. Brammill, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Yeah. So there's a good few more lives on tonight. I think Kent is going live. I think he's doing it with Rasco or Disco, one of them. I think we have a guest. Yeah. No, we don't. He's gone. Yeah, this is live at YouTube. Always works out. Device not connected. Okay. So not sure what's happening. So this one drinking. What's everyone drinking? What's everyone up to? Has everyone had a good week? Steve, what are you drinking? Is it Pepsi or is it homebrew? Or private chat? Okay. Okay. You're not coming up, me, Luke. Okay. This has got to be riveting. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening. Yeah, sorry about that. I tried to let Luke join. Cola, own brand or is it original? Oh, someone I haven't seen before. I'm having a blueberry. This is not. That sounds really interesting. Oh, there we go. Add stream.
Hi, Thomas.
How you doing, Luke?
Sorry about that. I had
Thanks for joining me.
I had a very abusive driver, let's just say. So.
Well, they're the good one. They're the ones that give a crack out.
Yeah, he was very anti-tech, I'm afraid, and he still had full face.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Sharky.
And the one.
I am here.
Okay, we'll start with the first question. Please introduce yourself to everyone who doesn't know you. Who are you, and everything about yourself.
Yeah, and what was Baroni? So my name's Luke John. Not only do I do 2 beer review videos, which you can get. That's an easy plug. But I'm also a councillor, local politician, businessman, and philanthropist. So I am extremely busy most of the time. Until recently, I had a a beer shop, which most of you know that is currently in the process of going online. But unfortunately, it could either be I am extremely busy or very lazy. That just hasn't worked out yet. So, but it will be back up and running within the next day or two.
And do you have stock? Do you actually have beer? Do you have stock to sell?
I have plenty of beer, Thomas. Plenty of beer, gin, vodka, rum, whiskey. If you want something that's locally produced or even produced here in Britain, then I will have it on that website within the coming days, weeks.
Can I ask you what party you're aligned to, or are you independent?
Yeah, so I'm a independent.
Okay.
Within local government. So I do stand and I do represent an independent party.
Okay.
But I only represent that party on paper. And the reason for that is you get kind of a bite at the apple. So, really as a councillor and local politician, you want to be sat at that table. And if you're not sat at the table, then it's going to be extremely difficult to do anything worthwhile. So I sit on many platforms, from just being a simple councillor to the National Fire Commission, to the Fire Services Management Committee, which oversees the entire UK population of fire and rescue services. So, it has its benefits, but along with that, it's also a lot of work as well.
Okay. This kind of moves on to the next kind of question I always have. You kind of answered the work part, that you have many parts, but family. Let's go family.
Family. I am free and single and not really looking to mingle. I put work first. I've got a great family behind me, mother, stepfather, siblings, and I'm sure, like most, they really, really get on my nerves. Probably 110% of the time. But they're also my biggest supporters and my biggest critics in everything that I do. So you could say, the devil's advocate type family, where nothing's ever really a success until it becomes a success. And I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I think we were talking before you and I. They said you started a pet shop, food, or was a pet shop food, or?
Yeah, so it's a pet supplies business. Like I said, I had no mandate to do a pet supply business. It happened when I was drunk. It was following one of our favourite Captain Car Park's live streams. For whatever reason, I just decided to order in a lot of pet supplies. Don't ask me why, because I don't really have a clue.
And can I ask where you sell them from? Is this an online shop as well, or is it actually have a physical shop?
Yeah, so it's a physical shop. So I'm part of a kind of a consortium of local businesses within the indoor market.
Okay.
So we kind of have units or pods that we sell from, and it just so happened that one became available. So I decided, hey, why not just pet supplies? And it's gone from there. And actually, it's proven quite successful so far. So I'm not losing out just yet.
Yeah, well, pets were a big thing in the lockdown, so a lot of people do have pets now, and that's what they're kind of looking after. Can I ask what age you are, so we can put this in perspective when I ask you the next questions?
I'm 32, Thomas. I'm 32.
Okay, so still young.
I'm like a baby, still in a nappy. I haven't grown out of it yet. And in fact, I often think myself as a baby because normally I piss the bed 4 times a night and I wake up before 5. So that just tells you something.
Oh, you're getting there. You're better than most of us. Can I ask what was your first beer?
My first ever beer,
Yeah.
probably White Lightning cider,
Okay.
on a park bench, um, somewhere within Thornaby, probably the local park. If not, at the time in the 90s, we all had this amazing thing called Lambrini, which was the introduction to wine.
Isn't
Terrible,
that pear
terrible
cider?
introduction.
Isn't that a pear kind of wine or something, isn't it? Or Lambrini?
Yeah, it's kind of the vinegar style. So in
Yeah.
fact, it's actually it's worse than Sarson's, I would say. But I mean, if I'm thinking back, probably actually the first ever bit of alcohol that I had was Shandy Bass. I don't know if
Oh
you
yeah. Yeah, yeah, I
Shandy Bass
know.
drinks. I think they just continued a few years ago. But that was always, it does not contain more than 0.5% alcohol. Well, I think that's better than most of the non-alcoholic drinks that we have today. And that was a
Yeah,
kid's
there's a
drink.
good few not buying 5% beers now, kind of. What's your go-to style of beer?
Um, Probably a Czech Pilsner. Um, I love, I love the Czech Republic. I love Prague. I love the Star Kramen, the Kruzovic, the Urkel. Uh, I think that's kind of my style. But to be honest, Thomas, anything with an ABV, if I'm honest, if it goes down
Yeah,
and
yeah.
does the trick, that's what I'm happy in.
Have you traveled much? You say you like to kind of that kind of beer, that kind of. Have you traveled much?
Yeah. So I've done the Czech Republic 16 times now.
Okay.
I've done Catalonia and Barcelona about the same. I've been to France quite a few times. Um, and sometimes I've even used my passport to go to Newcastle, because Georgies are a different country altogether.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. I got you got your vaccinations, or you got before you went as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of got ambitions and all to travel the world, but I've seen some of the stuff that Travis drinks. I'm not quite happy with that.
All
Sorry,
right.
Travis.
Uh, what's your favorite brewery if you have one?
My favorite brewery. Ooh, so I've possibly got two, Thomas, that I
Okay.
kind of joined. I've got the Three Brothers Brewery Company here in Stockton, which do fantastic pilsners, IPAs, and stouts. You might have seen on Crummy's channel. He wasn't quite sure if it was a kind of a sour or a Scottish ale. And then I've also got Play Brew over in Middlesbrough, and
Okay.
they are quite epic with their sours. Um, and I mean anything local really. I'll give anything
So
a
are
one.
you into your sours then?
Um, only recently, I wasn't really a fan. I just thought the roll was too sweet and a little bit too much sugar. But I've actually come to appreciate a little bit more what the sour is about.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I'm still confused over stout and porter, and that's mainly because of Guinness. Those little Irish rebels them. It's either is it a stout? No, it's a porter. Well, begs to differ, but yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah. Stouts and porters, there's very little difference. You have to be a connoisseur of that kind of range to be really bothered. What kind of music are you into?
Music wise, right across the board, to be honest, Thomas. I'll go for anything from Blake Shelton with country and western, um, all the way through to Rest in Power, Meatloaf. So I kind of across the whole board. I also love a little bit of Stars and all that by Les Miserables. Um, so yeah, basically just anything I come up with or find on normally on YouTube. I'm kind of a fan of.
Okay. What kind of movies are you into then? Are you action, drama, comedy?
I, funny enough, I don't watch many movies, mainly
Okay,
because
that's good.
I don't have the time for movies. But I always remember the kind of the Space Jam type of movie,
Yeah.
and I always think back to when I did have time. It was often in my younger days. I couldn't tell you any actor, film star, or current movie whatsoever. I wouldn't have a clue, Thomas.
What about TV? I'm guessing if you don't watch movies, you don't watch TV. Like I don't know, Lord of the Rings or whatever. Not Lord of the Rings. You know some of the current things that I don't watch on TV. Peaky Blinders or whatever. Do you watch any of them?
No, I think the most kind of up to date one is probably something like Trigger Point on ITV.
Yeah.
Just a bog standard BBC ITV one. Even though I don't have a clue what they're going on about half the time, but it's nice just to have
Okay.
that brain numbing hour on a Sunday night, I suppose.
Okay. Do you wake up happy or sad?
Oh, I wake up sad every morning, Thomas. I, I wake up sad because the day can only get better. So if I'm in a
Okay.
full on angry, hungry, whatever type of mood you can think of, the day can only improve from then.
All right. That's an interesting philosophy. What's the meaning of life?
Oh, now I knew this one was coming, Thomas. After
I ask everyone.
watching Trilbies last week. So to me, the meaning of life, actually, there is no meaning to life. Um, I just think we
I'm not
are.
accepting that answer.
Yeah, I mean, I think we humans are what we do to ants. So we put them in a glass box and we watch them from the outside. So if you just think, I mean, it's kind of a better definition than any, really. You know, do you believe in God? Do you believe in this? Do you believe in that? Well, actually, who knows? It's just a book written many, many times by many, many different people. So to me, I always think we are just ants in a glass box.
Okay. Do you believe the earth is round?
Yeah, I mean, you get good ants, you get bad ants, you get some ones that do the job and some ones that stay around in the sun a little bit too long and get frizzled.
Okay. When's the last time you cried and why?
Last time I cried, probably the 11th of December 2003. That was the night my old man passed away.
Okay.
Uh, and that episode kind of happened all in front of me all at the same time. So I remember him dropping to the floor, unresponsive, me picking up the phone to the ambulance and going through the CPR procedure. And the 12 minutes that they took there felt as if it was kind of 40 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
But when you're kind of 13-year-old, I guess time like that does move quite fast. But I think that was kind of the last time. And probably actually the only time that wasn't real was and I suppose many people don't know this, James Blunt story of Munsters. The song that he wrote about his father. That is a proper tearjerker. And still to this day, I do not like James Blunt.
All right. Did that have a lasting effect on you then, watching your father die?
Yeah. Obviously, I've got Asperger's. So
Yeah.
it kind of took a long time to readjust to what was going on and what was happening. And in fact, that diagnosis of Asperger's only came possible after that episode. So I was only diagnosed, prior to that happening. But yeah, I mean, I think it's made me who I am. My childhood was quite difficult, but pulled through it. And now I'm actually serving the people and doing some good.
Okay. What makes you really angry?
What makes me angry? Everything, Thomas.
What do you
Everything,
mean?
anyone, anywhere, any place. To be honest, I quite like being angry. Um, when you're angry, you see things in a different perspective. So, I mean, for me, politics, which is weird because I'm in politics, extremely
Yeah.
angry all of the time. No break. Either local government, national government, international politics. It's just one big, massive meatball of angriness.
What do you think of your prime minister? You're
Oh,
into politics.
I don't really want to swear, but to be honest, he's a bit of a buffoon. And obviously, with me being independent, I'm not really left. I'm not really right. But I do believe that there is other people that could be better suited to being our prime minister.
Do you think there will be an independent Scotland?
No, because this country doesn't really go for independence because they can't quite decide where they stand on the political spectrum. If you look at the MPs, I think there's only maybe one at the last count independent. People are so, I vote this way because my parents did, my grandparents did, my great grandparents did, and so on.
Okay. We'll move off politics. Your favorite smell?
My favorite smell.
Yeah.
It, so this one actually might be a bit odd, but silicon.
Oh
When you
yeah,
get
I
that
get it.
clear silicon where you do around the kitchen and around the bathroom tiles.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about silicon. I mean, my most least favorite smell is mushrooms. I mean, that just
Do mushrooms
absolutely,
have smell?
or that just triggers me. So what? I mean, if you ever want to see
So,
an angry me, just fry some mushrooms next to me. No.
so I'm guessing it's loads of mushrooms on your pizza then at the end of the night.
Yeah, I can kind of see the family frying mushrooms over me casket as I go in the ground.
Do you remember your first paycheck or your first when you got money from working the first time?
Yep. So first paycheck, I was 17, and I was a cemeteries operative with the local council, also known as a gravedigger.
Okay.
for the grand total of £80 a week. When you took in fact how many hours I worked, it was actually £96. But they always paid us 80 just to annoy us, basically.
Okay. Have you ever tried any exotic meats?
Any exotic? What, Thomas?
Meats, food,
Oh, any
exotic
exotic
food.
meat. So I used to run a street food business doing Indian samosas, and within some of the samosas, I used to put ostrich, alligator, kangaroo, um, basically anything I could find. I used to shove in a little golden parcel and sell it to the public. Probably explains the weight, to be honest, Thomas.
Okay. Drugs.
No, never. I'm no trilby Phil. So this kind of item's going to go quite quick.
What about legalization of them?
Uh, I don't really support them. Um, being a councillor, I can see what it does not just to families but to communities as well, and the impact it has.
But do you think if they were legalized and regulated by the government, that it might lessen the effects somewhat because people would know what they're taking?
Well, first, I think it'd be a big mistake on the government. We've seen kind of in North America how the government have tried to legalize and make it all kind of common, and it doesn't really work. It doesn't solve the social or economic issues.
Okay. First car. Yeah, first car.
That'd be difficult as I don't drive, Thomas.
Okay. Well,
Um,
first mobile
and
phone then.
first mobile phone, probably the Nokia 3310. You couldn't break it, you couldn't do anything to it. But Snakes as a game was absolutely fantastic.
It was. And if your phone is around somewhere, it will probably still work, even if it's in the landfill. You
Yeah,
probably could
I,
turn it on and it would still work.
I
What's on your
reckon
bucket list?
on my book. Um, so for me, it's not about traveling, but it's kind of what I want to get out of life. So the reason why I work quite a lot at the moment is I want to retire early to enjoy more of life, just as it is basically. Um,
Okay.
I'd love to open a bar in Catalonia, sunshine, cold beer. Who does not want that? I've got plenty of cold beer in front of me, albeit a bit Italian, but you know, who doesn't want that?
Okay. Last thing you Googled.
Myself, funny enough, I normally Google myself on a daily basis just to find out what rubbish that I've said in a meeting, which probably isn't the best thing to do. But it's amazing how many times it can crop up in different magazines, newspapers, etc.
Okay. Are you introvert or extrovert?
I am a introvert. Well, I'm an introvert during the day, but when I've had a drink, I can be whatever you like, Thomas.
Okay. What's the most illegal thing you've ever done? If you can admit to it here.
Most illegal. So I think it was probably when I was 15.
Okay.
I stole a set of ink cartridges from a local supermarket. Um, and I got caught, obviously. That's my only one and only criminal record. So till we Phil, don't even go there. And that was actually done because if a set of invoices weren't sent off on that day, the family wouldn't receive any money the following week. So it had good intentions, even though it wasn't. legal.
Okay. Which of the 7 dwarves are you? Bashful. I forget which ones are here. I've written down. Bashful, dopey, grumpy, happy, sleepy. Which of the 7 dwarves are you?
Which of the 7 dwarfs? I'm
Yeah.
I'm probably grumpy. I mean, which politician have you ever come across that's totally happy all the time? I mean, to be honest, the only time I am happy and probably sleepy is after alcohol. So
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Would you go to space if you knew you couldn't come back?
no, because I
Would
don't
you go
want
to
to say
space
what's
if you?
on. I don't want to say what's on the other side of that ant box. It's honestly, it could be somebody
Okay.
like me and you. Could be somebody like me and you just poking every ant that comes through. And that's what the meaning of life is. Just some grumpy git on the other side of a glass box.
Oh, we're back to this glass box. You must have some hangover with glass boxes. I'm trying to break out of them. I think. Do you?
Um, Probably I say the glass box as more of the house when I was a child.
All
You
right.
know what happened on the inside was different to what people see on the outside. Probably.
Probably. I think we agreed to half an hour before we started, so we're at 34 minutes now. So
Yeah.
we'll give this. We'll say goodbye to everyone who's watching or who's watching this. I'll say thank you, and maybe we'll have a chat some other time when sound and things are a little bit better. Thanks for coming
Yeah.
on. Cheers, and say goodbye. Let's go.
Thank you, Thomas.